written by me, drawn by Dave Lapham. On the cover, here we can see this is cool guy smoking, and then there's something in the trunk. All right, let's have a look. All right, page 1. Are we ready? There's a guy sitting in a bar, looks like, and we see him close up, and he's saying, look, I'm telling you, I got something good, like really good. You ain't seen anything like this before, I promise you. This is some one-of-a-kind shit, game-changing shit. Panel 2, we pull back, we see some creepy-looking dudes, a little Scarface guy, a guy with like one big weird eye, and sort of a porcine fellow. And then the guy continues to talk. He says, it's worth way more than what I'm selling it for, and sky's the limit on what you can do with it. You could take over the city, weaponize it. You could make yourself the strongest gang in the street. Hell, you could take over the entire East Coast. Panel 3, they walk outside, he goes to his car. The little gangster guys follow along. He pops the trunk, keeps talking. I brought it to you first. You know you guys is my boys. I want you to have first crack. Come look, come see. You don't believe me. One of the crooks says, Bob, this better be good. Another crook says, I gotta say, I'm having a hard time believing what you're selling. And then the guy that's selling says, trust me, page turn. This is gonna blow you away. And inside the trunk, oh man, we see a dead superhero. I'll show it. Anyway, he looks real dead. All right, now the crooks are looking in the trunk, and the first guy says, holy, you wasn't lying, dude. Dude is dead, but you already sold his arm? God damn, how'd you get that arm off? Ain't he invulnerable? And the seller says, yeah, well, I know a guy. Then the other crook says, he was invulnerable. Super speed, heightened senses. His blood alone is probably worth 10 million bucks. Next page. The crook's still talking to the seller. Well, all we can give you is like 10 grand. Seller says, 10 grand? For how much? For it. All of it. Him. Whatever. Seller says, are you nuts? I'll carve off a toe for that. And that's me being generous. Crook says, yeah, well, maybe I just take it off your hands. And now they're coming at the guy, kind of threatening. One guy's pulling a gun. And then the seller says, wait guys, listen, I came to you. Not first, the crook says. His arm's already gone. Get him, boys. Blam! The gun goes off, the seller blocks the shot. Blam, blam, more shots. There's a little scuffle. The seller gets into his car and screeches off. Great art by Dave. So good, I love his 8-panel grids. All right. Next page, later, establishing shot. There's like a big mansion. And the seller's in this big penthouse apartment. And he's saying, listen, I'm telling you, I got it held up, but I'm here now. And then this rich guy says, I've got it, but I need to verify your story, you understand. What you've done, it's considered impossible. The seller holds up a little vial of liquid. Here's a sample. Do what you gotta do. The rest is waiting for you downstairs. And then there's a little close-up of him putting the vial into this super great technology. It looks like a little curvy iPhone. And then rich guy's looking at the scanner, and then he says, oh my God, I'll transfer $2 million for the legs if you can deliver in the next 15 minutes. And throw in this vial of blood. Seller says, now we're talking. Then we cut down to the seller in his car. He's getting out this crazy looking sci-fi circular saw. Pops the trunk. Bzz, starts the saw. Ooh, and now he's lugging a big piece of luggage back to the rich guy in the penthouse. I'm curious, did you have something against Captain Fab? Did he wrong you somehow? The rich guy says. Seller says, I'm delivering the legs. They don't come with a backstory, okay? Next page. Another great 8-panel grid. Rich guy says, fine. It's just his disappearance has already made national news. You won't be able to hide forever. Seller says, you keep your mouth shut, they'll never find out what happened to him. And the seller is transferring $2 million on his phone. Rich guy says, fine. I set up a meeting for you with an associate of mine. He wants a piece of the action and he knows how to keep his mouth shut. Then cut to the seller in his car listening to the radio. On the radio we hear, Captain Fab still missing. Authorities are scouring the city for clues. He was last seen in high altitude aerial battle with... The radio cuts off. Then we see the seller in the park talking to another mystery guy. Mystery guy says, that what I think it is? Seller says, yep. 1 hot wing as ordered. The mystery buyer says, cash on delivery. Captain Fab, huh? What the hell did he ever do to you? And he gives him like a little suitcase full of money. Seller's back in his car, listening to the radio. The radio says, vigil is being held at his headquarters as millions wait to hear his fate after going missing 2 weeks ago. Then big panel. This is great. Dave drew this, and I'm not sure in the script. I didn't describe it quite like that. Just that low angle and then the police line or the police tape in this crazy building that's wrecked. I think that's the place where the seller lives. On the radio it says, a nation worries and questions are being raised. How could an invulnerable man die? Perhaps he simply retired rather than... And the radio gets cut off. Seller opens the trunk. Inside the trunk we see the dead superhero again. Closer on his face. Page turn. And then we see the dead hero's eyes open. And he says, please, why? Help. And then we see close-up of the seller, lights a cigarette, exhales, closes the trunk. Thunk. The end.